Hey traders, welcome to the trading channel. I hope you all had a great weekend. Let's go ahead and get prepared for this upcoming week in the market. In just a few moments, I'm going to be sharing with you guys the key levels of structure that I'm looking at on the top 5 major pairs, along with discussing the trend that each of these pairs is in. The reason I'm going to do this is, one, to help you understand what to look for in the market when it comes to structure and trend, which can be extremely beneficial to your trading, and two, to share my opinion on what these markets are going to do throughout this upcoming week. We'll be pointing out some trading opportunities that I can see in the market and the levels that I'll be looking for those trading opportunities at. So if all that sounds interesting to you and you want to be alerted whenever we come out with these videos each and every Monday, make sure to go ahead and click that subscribe button and the little notification bell beside it. Make sure to click that like button for me while the intro and disclaimer roll to help support the channel, and I'll see you guys on the other side to start this week's market predictions. Welcome back, traders. So in last week's video, what we were talking about is the euro dollar here being in an uptrend, and we were talking about our expectation being that this market would continue in an uptrend. But we did say that here around the 1.2295 level, we could see some possible resistance for a counter trend trading opportunity on a smaller time frame, and we wanted to see some kind of push down of somewhere around 100 pips. If I delete these and grab my ruler tool, you can see that we actually ended up getting a 130 pip move down from the 1.2295 level. So what I'm going to do is play you guys a clip from last week's video talking a little more about this analysis, and then I'll come right back to discuss what we're expecting next here out of the euro dollar. To continue, so we're looking for a pullback here from this level. We can take advantage of that pullback by trading short trades on a lower time frame, because this pullback, although it may not look like much here on the daily chart, just as this one doesn't really look like much, this was over 100 pips, and on a lower time frame that can be a significant trade. So not saying we can't look for short trades, just saying we need to be conservative with our targets if we do from the 1.2295 level. Irregardless though, this is the next level of resistance we're paying attention to for shorting opportunities. And above that level, now that we've had this nice counter trend bounce off this resistance level of over 100 pips pushing down, what's next here out of the euro dollar? Could we see a pullback coming all the way down into our previous resistance levels looking left? The answer to that is of course we could. Could we see this market push above 1.2295? The answer to that is also, of course, we could. Something extremely important to know is that we're not just making these predictions and then the market following those predictions. What we're doing is preparing ourselves for any situation the market gets into. So I'm prepared for if the market pulls down. If we have this major pullback, I'll be looking at 1.2063. I'll be looking in this zone right here for long opportunities in trend continuation here on the euro dollar. Now, if the market breaks above our 1.2295 level, I'll be looking for trend continuation on smaller time frames all the way up to 1.250. At that level is the next place I'll be looking for counter trend opportunities. So as you can see, what we're doing is actually preparing for what the market does, because we don't control the market. Just because I say the market may fall or may rise from a certain level of structure doesn't mean it's going to happen. It's just me preparing for when the market gets to these important levels with a trading plan on a smaller time frame so that I know exactly what I'm going to do when the market gets there. So preparation is really what these predictions are. And right now on a smaller time frame, we're really just seeing a period of consolidation here out of the euro dollar. If we get all the way back up to 1.2295, then I may look at that as an opportunity to go short once more to get this deeper pullback, and that'll be the first thing we're looking for this week, is a move back up into 1.2295 and an entry reason on a smaller time frame to see if we can get a deeper pullback. So that's the first thing we'll be looking for out of the euro dollar, and of course after that we'll be looking down here at this level around 1.2063 for long opportunities, and as I said, above that we'll be looking for some long opportunities up to our next resistance level. If the market breaks through 1.2063, our next level of support is going to be down here at 1.1866. We probably won't hit that this week, but as for later on in the future, that's the next level of structure we're going to be paying attention to as possible support. And we actually need to move that line up. I just realized this. So this level is now going to look something more like around 1.1919. The reason for that is because these most previous two levels of structure that have been created. So that's what we're looking at here on the euro dollar. What we'll do now is just go ahead and move on to our next pair. Next, we're going to be taking a look at the pound dollar. So here on the pound dollar, we actually had a prediction last week that did not quite work out. We were looking at the 1.385 level. We wanted this level to act as resistance. It has been major resistance in the past out here on the daily chart. We got this nice long wick to the top side showing some selling pressure from this area. But now, since then, the market has broken and closed above that level by quite a lot. So again, now we just prepare. So now that we know the market has broken above that level of resistance, what do? Well, now we change this line to blue because that's the color we use here for support. We'll also have to change this one below it. So now what do you think we're going to be waiting for? That the market has broken above this major level of daily structure and also is in a massive uptrend. Looking at this, coming above this period of consolidation, creating a high, then a higher low, then a higher high, a higher low, and now we've broken into our next higher high. Considering those two factors, what would be your predictions on this market? Well, hopefully if you've seen a few of these market prediction videos, you've been able to understand it enough to understand that what we're waiting on now is going to be a pullback into this 1.3853 level. And why is that? Because previous structure tends to act as support and resistance again in the future. And considering we just broke above this level, we're in a big uptrend. This to me is going to be the first level that we can look for possible long opportunities in anticipation for a move back up to our previous level of daily resistance looking left. Our next level of resistance is around 1.4091. This yellow zone here is where we could look for taking second targets if we get a trade from 1.3853, and also where we could look for some possible counter trend shorting opportunities out of the pound dollar on a lower time frame. So those are our most recent predictions here on the pound dollar. We have a possibility of the market pulling back into 1.3853. In that case, we'll be looking for long opportunities on a lower time frame from that level. We also have the possibility that we don't have that pullback, but we continue to push up towards the 1.4091 level. With that being the case, we'll be looking there for possible counter trend opportunities. As for a little bit further into the future, if we get a push that breaks below 1.3853, then we'll be looking all the way down at 1.3597 for our next level of possible major support. We'll have to zoom the chart out a little here to see if we can find our next level of resistance. So looking back here, do you guys see a level yet that you would consider major, where the market's touched it 2, 3, even more times as support and resistance in the past? This level right here stands out to me, and the reason it does is because we have resistance, 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 support in through here, and support again. Because we have 5 times that the market has respected this level as support and resistance in the past, then I know that it's a possibility we could respect this level once more, especially as resistance. So as the market travels higher, maybe later on in the future, again, probably not going to hit this level throughout this week, but in the future, if we see a push higher here out of the pound dollar, then what we'll be looking for is the 1.4409 level as the next level of counter trend major resistance out of this pair. Now we'll go ahead and move on to our next pair. Our next pair is going to be the dollar yen. We are at a level of support right here. We're at a level where the market could definitely find support. So what can we look for? We can look for counter trend opportunities, but overall, even though we're looking for counter trend opportunities at 110.5 in that area, we want to be conservative with those targets. And if we find a counter trend opportunity, go ahead and at least have the first targets off by 111. Again, doesn't look like much on a smaller time frame, but that's around 50 to 100 pips that we could see this market push up. So if we can catch a counter trend move from the level we're at right now, around 110.5, then we may take advantage of that trade with targets set at our next level of possible resistance. So that was a clip from last week's video where we were pointing out the 110.5, around 110.48 level as being a possible counter trend support level out of the dollar yen. As you can see, we came into that level. We ended up getting a pretty nice pop from that level of a little over 100 pips actually. If I bring on the ruler tool, we got right at 100 pips there at the top of this wick. So that proved to be a pretty nice counter trend level and major level of support. The market did climb a bit higher than we expected, pushed up over the 111 handle, and now it looks as though we're going to get into some trend continuation. We were actually able to catch this move down in trend continuation as well. So what I'm going to do is show you guys an email that I sent out for the Advanced Pattern Watch List program, which is a program that's currently only available to people who've purchased the Advanced Pattern Mastery course. What I'm going to do is show you guys an email from that and then show you the advanced pattern that we use to take advantage of trend continuation here on the dollar yen. That was also based on some of this weekly market prediction analysis as well. This advanced pattern coming in right around the 111 even handle that we discussed in last week's video as major resistance. So first we'll take a look at that email, and then we'll come right back to the chart to discuss that advanced pattern, then the continued analysis here on the dollar yen, talking about what we expect in the future. So let's go ahead and take a look at that email. So here we are on that email, and as you can see, this watch list was sent out on 1/22, which was Monday. If I scroll down here, you'll see that we have a dollar yen ABP pattern. The ABP pattern is comparable to the advanced BAP because of copyright. And trademark law, I'm not allowed to actually call it the bat pattern anymore. So now we call this pattern the ABP. We had an ABP coming in with an in trend pattern right here around the 111 even handle on the dollar yen. So what we'll do is go over to the chart and check that trade out. And this is an email that was sent out to all premium members of the Advanced Pattern Watch List program that have already signed up for the Advanced Pattern Mastery course. So now what we're going to do is take a look at the actual advanced pattern itself. Let's go ahead and bring that chart over. And there we have it. So this is an ABP comparable to the advanced bat. What we were looking at here is a move down, putting us in trend. Move back up to our 50% retracement, move back down past 382, and a move back up to the 886, giving us this pattern. The great thing about this pattern was that it was coming in right around that 111 even handle. We're in the area of 111, between 111 and 111.1. And in that zone is where we were looking at for trend continuation anyway. So the fact that we had this nice advanced pattern for entry really gave us a great reason to try to capture some trend continuation out of the dollar yen to the downside. Now let's head back over to the dollar yen chart and take a look at what we're expecting next out of this pair. So we're still floating around the 110.5 area. Now here we can really expect some trend continuation. Do I expect another rally off of this level? Not necessarily. I'm actually, based on what we see on smaller time frames and based on what we see here on the daily chart, expecting this to be a move down. So I'm not really looking for any buying opportunities around the 110.5 area. More so looking for trend continuation opportunities when we get below that area, and maybe looking at it becoming resistance would be really the first choice for this week. Is if we could get a push below 110.5 and a pullback into that area, then that's an area I'll be looking at for shorting opportunities in trend continuation here on the dollar yen, and look for trend continuation all the way down to 108.97, which is our next level of major support here on the dollar yen. Now, as for resistance, we could see another push back up to 111 even, where we'll be looking for possible resistance on this market, and another push would be somewhere near the 111.79 area. We also have a pretty big zone here around 112 even. So in that zone will be the next level we look for shorting opportunities if we get a good rally off of the dollar yen, which is not what I expect, but of course it's possible. So those are the things we are preparing for on this pair. The next pair we're going to take a look at is the Aussie dollar, and then we'll follow that with the dollar Swiss. So we'll go ahead and head to that Aussie dollar chart now. We're going to be looking on smaller time frames for trend continuation out of this pair all the way up to that level. So that's initially what we're looking for. And then if we get to the 0.8023 level, we can look for counter trend opportunities. Remember, that's going to be with some conservative targets, that counter trend opportunity at 0.8023. And if the market pushes above. So there was a clip from last week's video where we were expecting some trend continuation. This is what we predicted last week, with some trend continuation out of this pair all the way up to the 0.8023 level. And that's exactly what we got. We ended up getting a nice little pattern down on a smaller time frame in way of a flag pattern. So what I'll do is zoom down to a 1 hour chart and show you guys that pattern. Here we are on that 1 hour chart, and as you can see here, we have this nice big impulsive move up, followed by a little level of resistance right here created in this flag pattern. This is one of the best signs of a really nice trend continuation trade. We have this flag pattern, the breakout, the pullback, and a move higher. This move higher makes it all the way up to the 0.8023 level, which is exactly where we expected resistance to come in at. So the trend continuation prediction playing off pretty nicely, and then our next prediction was that 0.8023 level acting as resistance in a counter trend trade, and we actually placed a trade using that exact analysis in the EAP Training Program. And I'm showing you guys this to show you that I actually use the analysis we do here on our weekly market predictions to actually place trades. And that's important for you to see, because it's a lot easier for you to really understand and to comprehend some of the things that I'm teaching here for free on YouTube if you see that I'm actually placing trades based on that knowledge. So I'm going to go over to that email that we sent out for the EAP Training Program from this level, a trading opportunity we had, and then we'll come right back to discuss what we could expect next out of the Aussie dollar. As you can see here, we have this EAP analysis from Monday, going short here on the Aussie dollar with our entry at 0.8003, stop loss at 0.8057, and target 1 at 0.7953. So let's head back over to the chart and discuss a little more about this trading opportunity and also what we're expecting next out of the Aussie dollar. So here's that Aussie dollar trade, and as you can see, we haven't quite hit targets yet. We've actually got about 5 pips away from our targets. Just waiting to see if this market can continue down enough to at least hit these first targets right around 0.7949. If you would like to start getting email alerts like this, they're not meant as a signal service in any way. They're meant to help you better understand how we use these levels of structure and our exact trading plan around them. We have a full training course included in the EAP Training Program. Plus, you get these alerts 3 to 5 times a week around important levels and also in our trend continuation trading as well. So if that sounds interesting to you, there's a link in the description for the EAP Training Program. Otherwise, we'll continue our analysis here on the Aussie Dollar. Let's zoom back out to the daily chart on this pair. Let's talk about what we can expect next out of the Aussie Dollar. Well, we are certainly in an uptrend. So when we're in an uptrend, what do we expect? We expect a continuation of that trend. Let me change this line to blue really quickly. But the thing about an uptrend is we could see a trend continuation of this uptrend anytime above our previous support level, which is around 0.7800. So anything above that would keep this in an uptrend, meaning we could definitely see a pullback down into 0.7893. Now, currently, as I just showed you, I'm currently short on the Aussie Dollar right now. So I'm not looking for any trades right now, but if we do get that push down all the way into 0.7893, that's a place I'll be looking at for second targets, along with a place I'll be looking at for some trend continuation trades out of the Aussie Dollar. This is my favorite spot this week for trend continuation, is right down here at 0.7893. Now, if the market continues lower than that, then I'll be looking down at 0.78 even for our next level of possible trend continuation to the upside. And if the market heads higher, I will more than likely be stopped out of the trade I'm in currently, unless we get down there and hit the first targets beforehand. And the next level of resistance I'll be paying attention to is 0.8117 right here at this most previous high, which has also acted as support and resistance multiple times looking left. So that's what we're paying attention to here in the future on the Aussie Dollar. We'll go ahead and move on to our final pair, which is going to be the dollar Swiss. So here we are on our final pair, the dollar Swiss, and just as with the other pairs, we're going to first start off with what trend are we in? What can we expect this market to do based on our trend analysis? Well, our trend analysis says we've created a low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low. What are we expecting? A lower high and a lower low. We're expecting this trend to continue. Where could we possibly see this lower high come in? This is what we're asking ourselves every single week. What is our most likely scenario for that lower high? Well, we just pulled up into that 0.965 area we talked about last week as being possible resistance to push the market down in trend continuation. So that's something that's already happened. What are we expecting next? Well, we really don't have any trading opportunities right now, kind of in the middle of nowhere. If we get down to the 0.9558 level, yes, it's a major level of support, but the market's already had a bounce off this level. And if that bounce did not stick, then I don't see this level holding once more. So what I'm really looking at on this pair, pretty similar to the dollar yen, is to see some type of trend continuation out of this market. The next time I'll be looking for a trade out of the dollar Swiss is after we break below 0.9558. I would really like to see this market break below that level before looking for that level to become resistance and looking for some trend continuation plays to the downside all the way to 0.9446, which will be our next counter trend level based on these previous levels of support we have looking left right there. So that's what we're looking at when it comes to support and trend continuation out of this pair. In the unlikely scenario that we see this market push up, the first place that we'll be looking for possible shorting opportunities is 0.9635. And if we get above that level, the next place we'll look for shorting opportunities is around 0.9739. Now as for our most immediate predictions out of this pair, we're looking for one of two things here on the dollar Swiss. Our next trading opportunities here at the trading channel are going to come either from a rally out of this market, getting back into the 0.9635 zone, or a trend continuation play after the break of the 0.9558 level. Those are the two things we'll be looking for in the near future here on the dollar Swiss. And guys, that's our analysis for the top 5 major pairs. That's our analysis here on the dollar Swiss. I hope that was helpful to you and your trading. If it was, please go ahead and click that like button for me, and do not forget to subscribe so that you're alerted whenever we come out with these videos each and every Monday. I know this video was a day late, and I do apologize about that, but make sure you subscribe so you're alerted about these. Also, again, if you're ready to invest in your education, if you would like alerts and to be taught the actual trading plan we use around these important levels and for trend continuation, you can find that in the EAP Training Program, which there's a link in the description for. You can also learn a little more about advanced patterns if you're interested in that, and have access to the Advanced Pattern Watch List program by clicking the link in the description labeled Advanced Pattern Mastery Course. I look forward to seeing you guys later on this week in a tutorial video. I hope you trade green in the markets and have a great week, and I'll talk to you guys next time.